Welcome to my channel Suspense Recapped. Today I will explain the movie name Splice. Spoilers here, watch out for the movie. At the beginning of the film, two genetic engineers come on the scene. They were married. Husband's name was Clive while wife's name was Elsa. Actually, they were both genetic engineers. Such engineers who create new creatures while experimenting. It means, they may create the new animal or creature while crossing the DNA of two creatures. They used to work for a pharmaceutical company. And the company's name was Nucleic Exchange Research and Development. And the job of both Clive and Elsa was to mix the DNA of two animals first, which creates a new animal. And they used to create medicine for different diseases by the animal's protein. They have also created a new type of animal recently, which was male and had a unique look. And they have also created the same animal before, which was female. Now they bring both animals in front of each other. And both animals meet with each other affectionately. Actually, both animals were feeling good in the presence of each other. It means that their experiment had succeeded. Observing it, they both move to the head of the company. They tell her, "We have created this new type of animal while mixing the DNA of several animals. And we can create medicine for different diseases through this protein. And we have also invented a new technique along with it. That we can generate a hybrid while crossing the DNA of animals and a human. It is clear that we can create medication for different diseases." Their head tells you that the company is satisfied with what has been experimented by you. And your statement of mixing the DNA of animals and humans. The company management will not consent for right now. And the company thinks to create the medication from the protein of your created animals. So it will be focused on making medicine, stopping the process of research. Clive and Elsa say that others will start it if we do not take initiatives. The head says, "When did we say that we will not initiate it? We will surely start it. But we will start marketing the medicines after making them. Then the focus will be put on your project." So she forbids both of them. They both are disheartened by this. Because they were both genetic engineers. Who could not serve a company for making the medicine through the animal's protein. So they plan to continue their experiment secretly. So they take initiatives for their work. But they needed the DNA of a female human to take their work ahead. So Elsa brings the DNA of someone for Clive. Clive asks, "To whom does this DNA belong?" Elsa says, "This DNA belongs to a stranger." And they conduct experiments on the human DNA and their created creature's DNA. They struggle hard but remain unsuccessful. Due to this, they get worried. One day, Elsa brings one more DNA. "So we will experiment on this DNA." Then they experiment on human DNA and animals' DNA. After a great struggle, their experiment was looking to progress. It means that the DNA of humans and animals were mixing with each other. Now they have a unique DNA. Which had been created with the mixture of human and animal DNA. Clive did not want to continue his research because it was illegal. But Elsa had the opposite point of view, she wanted to continue this research. So she moves to the laboratory, taking that DNA. There was a machine in that room, which began to produce the animals and humans after putting DNA in it. It means, any animal continued to grow in that machine. Then Elsa puts the DNA in that machine. Clive warns Elsa, "It is not legal what we are doing. To create someone then kill him." Elsa says that a number of the people lose their life daily in this world. And some people's lives may be protected because of our experiments. So Clive agrees with Elsa. And they continue their experiment. But the shocking fact is this, the expected kid who had to grow slowly in the machine, was growing rapidly. They know that kid is physically healthy. But the alarm of that laboratory beeps in the evening. Going there, they know that the child has developed completely. It means that he has developed to come out of the machine. So they pulled it out, which looked weird. Clive wanted to kill this creature. Elsa says, "We should not take this step right now. Because it is possible we may create a creature perfectly." But Clive does not agree with Elsa. So they move to that place where the creature was present. Because they yearn to end it. Going there, they come to know as it is already dead. So Clive leaves from there. And Elsa says, "It's out of danger now." So Elsa opens that box and while checking, she knows that there is not any kid or creature but just a skin. It means, a creature has come out from that skin which was in the laboratory at that time. Then that mysterious creature is shown, having 2 feet. Clive casts a glance at that creature. He says to Elsa, "Come outside immediately. I am releasing the toxic gas." But Elsa does not follow Clive's words. And she says to that creature, "I will not harm any type. Don't be afraid." Hearing it, that mysterious creature comes close to Elsa without any fear. But Clive approaches there from the backside, holding a rod. Seeing him, That creature fills in anger. Then Clive and Elsa leave that place. Clive says to Elsa, "I am releasing the toxic gas. Because I don't want to let this creature live, I want to kill it." Elsa says, "We will just make it unconscious because I want to observe my creature." So they knock it out and start inspecting. Then they know that this creature is actually a female which is fastly growing. And a time will come when it will be dead after its complete growth. It means its lifespan is short. And that creature was gradually growing. Its hands and feet are grown and its mind is also developed. And Elsa was emotionally attached to it. She feeds it and teaches a different course of action. One day, Elsa hands over that creature many alphabet toys. And Elsa says to it, "Arrange these alphabets in such a way that my name may be written." But that creature spells out nerd. It was the name of this company. Because it had observed those spelling on Elsa's shirt. Witnessing it, Elsa is very excited. Because it was understanding things now. Then Clive comes there, who never liked this creature. He asks, "Who brought this creature out? Keep it inside. And its tail should also be converted." In fact, that creature had a long tail. Elsa says to Clive, "Don't call it an animal." Clive says, "Why should I say it?" She says, "Call it Dren because it has recently spelled out the word nerd. Which is Dren if it is revered." One day, Clive's brother also glimpses Dren. And the reality of Dren is exposed before him. They sent Dren into the farmhouse because they could not keep it there. Now that time approaches, Clive and Elsa had to represent themselves before the head of the company. The presentation was previously created creatures by them. When they bring the both creatures before the company's head for presentation, then both creatures begin to fight each other. They are dead during this battle. And they are disheartened because of this incident. Then they find the logic behind the fight of those. Then they know that the female creature had converted into male itself, changing its gender. Because that creature had the DNA of an animal, which could change after converting themselves. Clive and Elsa did not detect it because they were involved in another experimental subject, Dren. And they did not let them get involved. Dren, who is grown up. And Elsa used to deal with it, considering it a child. She teaches it everything while loving. One day, Dren flees to the forest. When Clive and Elsa go to discover it, they observe that Dren has ended a hare and is eating it. After that, they bring it home. Dren does not take the meal when Elsa offers it. But it says, "I am fed up because of this boring place." She does not express it while uttering, but she spells out tedious, using those alphabets. That "I am feeling very bored here." Then she moves up, tearing the roof. Then Elsa and Clive also go after it. They observe that Dren has grown wings. And it is nearly flying. Clive says to it, "Stop. We have affection for you. We need you. We'll keep you." Hearing it, Dren's wings are contracted into its body. Dren's mind was quick-witted now. It had started to understand the things, discriminating the good and evil. Once, Dren finds a cat but Elsa takes it away from it, because Elsa feared that Dren may not kill that cat. Then a surprising fact comes on scene with the passage of time, that Dren was taking interest in Clive. Then it is revealed to Clive that he inserted human DNA in Dren. It was not of anyone else but belonged to Elsa. Clive gets angry at Elsa because of this act. He says to her, "You acted badly. You should not have had to do it." Elsa's love was diminishing for Dren with the passage of time. So Elsa hands over that cat to Dren. Having a pointed tail, Dren kills that cat while wrecking its tail in the cat's neck. Elsa loses her temper, seeing it. And she slaps Dren. Being slapped, Dren pounces Elsa. Taking the key in Elsa's neck, it unlocks the door and leaves from there. The facts of Dren were being revealed before them. Then it is witnessed that Elsa had succeeded in extracting that protein, which was the assigned task for her by the company. One day, Clive is watching footage on the screen of his laptop that, as where's Dren? Is in the water at that time. Now Clive had also started to take interest in Dren. And he touches his laptop screen. Contrarily, Dren also touches the camera. It means, it touches Clive's hand. Because she had known that Clive was casting a glance at her. Seeing it, Clive is left shocked. Then it is seen that Clive has come to the farmhouse where Dren was living. Clive had come along there without Elsa. Clive calls Dren but he does not catch sight. Turning back, Clive finds Dren standing at his back. Then Dren says to Clive while coming near him, "I have feelings for you." Clive says on it, "No. It is wrong." Now Clive had also feelings for Dren so he is unable to hide them. At the same time, Elsa comes there. She feels heinous when she encounters them together. So she leaves from there in fury. Dren's tail was pointed which may be the threat for anyone. So Elsa cuts its tail. And she is very grieved. Here both repent on their mistake as they should not have had created this creature. Elsa says, I have created that protein which was required by the company. And it is in the body of Dren. In a large quantity. Now they both plan to end Dren. Going to Dren, they see that Dren is already nearly to die. At first sight, Dren dies. Because it is in knowledge that its lifespan is limited. They bury it nearby place after its death. After burial, Clive's brother arrives there. There was another employee along with Clive's brother. And Clive's brother also used to serve the same company. Clive's brother says, I know that you both have created a creature. It looks like the human beings. Because the human DNA is also there in your provided protein to the company, now I want to glimpse your created creature. They tell, it is dead, even we have also buried it. Then someone's loud shriek is heard. And this voice was coming from that direction where they had buried Dren. So they hurriedly run in that direction. They observe that Dren is not there at its burial place. It was rather a station on the roof. It means that it has revived. It looked mighty and also dangerous. Its wings has also grown and tail has also reproduced. Because it had been cut by Elsa. Then Dren attacks them at that time. And it puts Clive's brother and his accompanied employee into death. And Clive loses his consciousness during this dispute. Then Dren captures Elsa, coming to her. Here it is revealed that Dren had also changed its gender. Because it has the DNA of that animal which could convert itself, changing its gender. Converting into male, it came to Elsa. But Clive thrusts a piece of wood into Dren, coming from the backside. Consequently, Dren is wounded, so it leaves Elsa. Afterward, it attacks Clive after pulling that piece of wood from it. Then Elsa throws a stone on Dren, lifting it. Then Elsa again throws a stone on it, but she stops immediately, and she begins thinking. We are ending it with our same hands which created them. Elsa also thinks it also has my DNA. Getting a chance, Dren kills Clive with its tail. Elsa again targets Dren, throwing a stone, but at last Dren is killed. After this, Elsa and her head are shown. It is observed that Elsa is expecting a baby. And the baby belonged to Dren because of its gender conversion. Elsa's head tells, your provided protein had profited the company. Now the company wishes to advance this research. And the expected baby of Elsa was the source to advance this research. Now Elsa struggled hard for this company after taking risks and losing her husband, so company grants a huge payment to Elsa. As being a genetic engineer, Elsa wished to advance this research reluctantly. And the movie also ends with this scene. Thanks for watching. Do you like this type video, then subscribe my channel Suspense Recapped.